Sid, you were in Disney until very recently. Tell me very honestly, if Rajamouli came to you and said, here's my script, here's the deal, here's what I want to make, here's the star in it, here are the songs, and this is the kind of money I'm demanding to make for a pan-Indian audience, would you have said yes to that? Or would any Bombay studio have yes to that?
It is a really good point that you make, because I think the budget he started with compared to the budget he ended with was 4 times what he said that he would make it for. And I think it does take balls of steel for someone to actually have the guts to say that I'm giving you a blank check, go ahead and do whatever you want to do over the next 5 years. I believe in your vision completely. I have to say that would have been a very, very difficult call for anyone to make, right? Having said that, to your earlier point about studios, the reason that foreign studios came to India and realized that they could not sustain themselves just trying to bring their imports in was because Hindi movies is a different kettle of fish altogether. So I don't think the solution would have been to come and try to make Spider-Man in India, because we have Salman Khan and he is our Spider-Man, right? So we need to do stuff. I mean, the idea was that studios realized that they'd spent 60, 70 years distributing the Hollywood movies here, but it wasn't going beyond 10% of the box office. So to get into the game, they had to make Hindi movies the way Hindi movies are made and hopefully invest more in the industry. Now, would they be able to, a Fox did it with something like a Titanic, right? Where they just backed James Cameron and said, go out and do it, and that budget went sky high. But then they got Paramount to come and back them up, and they regretted that later because they actually had to then share the profits with Paramount, but they said that we'll cap whatever you guys put in, but we'll have to keep going up, sort of depending on the over budget. So it is a tough call for studios to make, and I dare say, I don't think Baahubali would have been able to be made within the studio system, because this was one of those movies that was just so out of left field. You needed a single person to be able to back that vision and then just to say, I'm going to write you a blank check.
But having crossed the threshold, do you think the studio system would be accepting now because they've just seen what is possible?
I think really, to Sid's point, a film like that genuinely is like now, sorry?
Mic's not working? Close it.
I mean, if you look at Baahubali after, it's much, I'm sure Rajamouli has been courted by every studio in the country now. But if you're asking the question that before release, would it have happened now?
Wouldn't have.
I mean, it's so, and let's not forget that his previous movies, why are we talking only about Baahubali? I remember we went to the theater to watch Makhi. I remember we went to the theater to watch all his previous movies, and he's done phenomenally well.
Yes.
Actually, pretty much like a Raju, he has, every film that he does really, really well. So, but I'm not quite sure if, at that point, any one of us would have...